It's my fourth weekend on my conditioning mesocycle, and today I worked on muscles associated with deadlift. Deadlift has always been a lift that I struggled with over the years, and it's my least favorite exercise. I could blame me not liking deadlift on a million different things, such as my calves, which are about as big as SpongeBob's legs. I could blame it on my form, which has literally taken me years to develop. I could blame it on my conditioning and risk injury. I know I'm half dead after almost every session and ready to just lay down and take a nap. But even though I suck at deadlift, and the reason I suck at deadlift is because I don't like it, I found a way to overcome a struggle that prevented me from getting stronger and helped me pull a new personal best in the powerlifting competition at the end of 2025. By changing one thing in my deadlift programming, I was able to get stronger without unaliving myself midway through training. You may find that you've struggled with the same thing, and you might be able to apply this to your training as well. In 2024, my best deadlift was 570 pounds. I trained as hard as I could to improve my deadlift, but I felt like I was literally going backwards. So going into 2025, I felt like frequency, or how often I was going to deadlift in each mesocycle, was going to play an important role for any gains I hope to have. For conditioning, it should have been at least once a week, but here's the problem. I have a hybrid squat form that leans towards low bar. I use a lot of my posterior chain in my squat, which are my glutes and hamstrings, not only for strength but stability. If I squat at the beginning of the week and deadlift 4 days later, my strength is cut down by 15 to 20% since deadlift requires the glutes and hamstrings to perform part of the movement. With that being said, I'm training muscles that haven't fully recovered from my squat session and continuing to beat them up even further. And on top of that, if I have another squat session 3 to 4 days later, my strength and stability for squat suffers because my glutes and hamstrings still haven't recovered. You could say it's just because I'm deconditioned or I have too much volume or accessory lifts included in my training, but there have been weeks where my stability for squat was unstable and my drive for deadlift would be pitiful. After some research and trial and error, I found the answer. The muscles and central nervous system typically take 2 to 3 days to recover from a lower intensity focused deadlift session, while higher intensity focused deadlift sessions can take 5 to 10 days. So for the first half of 2025, I was beating a dead horse. I was going into each deadlift and squat training session hoping I'd become stronger with my muscles still trying to recover, and the exact opposite was happening. With research in mind, I changed my deadlift frequency to every 10 days or every other week. I found that my strength and conditioning for both my squats and deadlift started to improve without any muscle soreness or stability issues. After progressing from conditioning to strength training, I found that 10 days was not enough rest since both my squat and deadlift intensity had increased. So I decreased my deadlift frequency and trained deadlift once every 3 weeks. This proved to be beneficial as I continued to get stronger in both lifts. Then I progressed into my power mesocycle. At this point, my volume and accessory lifts had been decreased tremendously, which should have helped my muscles recover faster. But my posterior chain muscles were still taking a beating since I was training at a higher intensity. Therefore, I changed my deadlift frequency again, and I was deadlifting just once a month. By the time the powerlifting competition came around in December, I was able to pull 615 pounds, weight that I thought was out of my grasp for the longest time. So from June 2025 to the beginning of December 2025, I was able to increase my deadlift by 45 pounds. Now there are some other factors that may have played a role into my deadlift strength increasing, including tough back day sessions and the fact that my glutes and hamstrings were also getting stronger since I squat low bar. But at the same time, if I had not changed the frequency of my deadlift training, I wouldn't have got stronger on either squat or deadlift. Remember, for the first half of 2025, I was at a standstill. It's only after I changed my deadlift frequency that I saw improvements. Now, if you're a high bar squatter, You may not run into the same issues and may be able to deadlift more frequently since the core provides a ton of stability for high bar squats instead of mostly the glutes and hamstrings. But if you're trying to squat low bar and improve your deadlift training like me, then this change might be the thing you need to get your training back on track. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, this is Strong Bear Fitness.